な転生。
Yerp, we got another video request. Now in this video request, we're going to be doing some team formation. I'm going to be giving some advice on how I do it, but I'm also going to be telling you how it works generally and the best ways on how to form a team. Because obviously, for the average player, I would say someone that plays religiously, I don't like using the word religiously, but religiously just means every day. By someone that plays the game every day, you would know how to make a team, because obviously you play the game, you're going to need to know how to make a team that's actually effective so you can beat certain missions. And considering this challenge rush right now, I feel like it's the best time to do that, because this challenge rush is going to get sticky and you're going to need to employ all your knowledge to get these missions in the challenge rush done. But I'm doing this in regards to new players as well, or if you want any tips, like, I'm here to help. But obviously if you know anything in this video, it's not aimed at you, well done for knowing, but I'm just trying to help those who might want a little more help. So if you're here, or while you're here, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Press the subscribe button if you haven't already, because I have hit my goal for the year, but the grind don't stop, I'm still going. But yeah, let's get to the video. Now I'm gonna try get this video in type of like a good chronological order. So at the end I'm going to be showing you some teams that I use regularly, like teams I switch in between, teams that I actually enjoy using, my favorite teams. And then here at the beginning, so beforehand, I'm going to just be going through everything there is to know. So obviously what you need to know is that every character has a tag, and those tags literally make up the teams that you have in the game. Obviously you can put anyone in a team, but people that have similar tags are actually going to make better teams, which is actually much common sense. As in, Saiyans work together best because Saiyans tend to buff Saiyans. It's actually the way the game works in terms of collaborating players together to make a good team. So here I'm showing you all the teams available in terms of designated tags. You probably see in regen team, Saiyan team, whatnot. Literally, depending on what type of tag the player has, you match the other players together. On a whole team, you have 6 players, so obviously you're going to have to think about things like what color your characters are, what type of unit they are in terms of sparking hero or extreme, whether their Z ability actually buffs that certain tag, and actually what cards they bring, which I'll get into later. But this is just me showing you that obviously there's certain teams and the game actually lays it out for you in terms of the tags. And this is me showing you the auto select. The auto select actually puts together a team, and you can actually change the preference so it does it based on what tags you want. So I could do it based on fusion team and it literally comes up. The preference only works in terms of what tag the player has or the character has. So just because they're a fusion character doesn't mean they necessarily buff fusion people. You saw there that Fusion 13, Android 13, he doesn't buff fusion characters at all. I think he buffs movie saga people, but he's a fusion character. But all the other fusion characters, I believe in the game, do buff fusion characters, so he'll get the buff from them, but he won't be buffing them. Now here I'm using Gogeta, the Dragon Ball Super Gogeta, as my little model of demonstration, because I feel he covers all the kind of points that I want to cover in this video. He's a transforming unit, so you can show different aspects of what I'm trying to show in this video. But Gogeta, he's the transforming unit, meaning that when he transforms, you can see before and after. Before, he doesn't have the Super Saiyan tag, but after he transforms, he does have the Super Saiyan tag. So you could see that difference. Certain characters might only buff Super Saiyan characters. Gogeta will get that buff after he becomes a Super Saiyan, after the transformation through his main ability. But on the team formation, you won't see that because he begins at base form, and his character is always base form. Now, his Z ability is based on, obviously, fusion characters. He's a fusion warrior, so you can see there he brings 20% to blast attack for fusion warriors, and it goes up once I get him limit broken. he gets better Z ability. But the cards he carries is what I want to focus on here. He carries a blast arts and a strike arts. Now you're probably thinking, why is that there? But you've probably seen this during your, I don't know, start of a battle. I'm going to show you quickly what I'm talking about. Now what I just showed you there is what these cards are for basically, and depending on what cards the actual character holds, obviously you can bring 3 people maximum into PvP. Those are the cards that you would actually have as a deck, like Yu-Gi-Oh or something, when you go into battle. So if you have 3 characters that you're choosing to go into battle and all 3 of them have double strike arts, literally you'll be getting 6 extra strike arts in battle. And if you're wondering why you're not getting any Blast Arts cards, or why is the cards that come into your deck when you're actually playing the battle like not what you want, is because of your units basically, because of what cards that they have, what cards they hold. So looking at that, I don't really look at it because I just fight what I'm given and I'm not bothered, but it can actually make the difference in your fight literally because of what cards you drew in due to the characters that you chose to bring in the battle. So please look at that. You don't have to use it, but it's something to consider for every battle. Now before I get onto my team formations and what teams I'll give you as literally freebies, what teams I use, I want to quickly talk about equipment because I didn't go into it before. I literally just skipped over it when I went over the auto select and what teams there are and the tags and whatnot at the beginning of the video. But equipment are literally very important. Like I saw a screenshot I believe of like KSI, and he literally had Zenkai ability class 7 for Beerus but had A rank equipment. If you can get S rank equipment and Z rank equipment, please do so. It is a hell of a grind, but it's worth it. It can literally change the whole battle just because of your equipment. But equipments come with different abilities, and obviously equipments hold different tags, so not all equipments will just be available to everyone. But you should look at what abilities the equipments have so that you can apply it to your characters, because literally the auto select isn't the best thing for what equipment you want to attach to the player, because they literally just put anything on that applies, not specifically looking at what's best for what character. So for example, I have Spirit Bomb Goku here, the free one, and if you look at his stats, he's more strike based than blast based. You can see there 174 to 163 thousand. But I may have some A rank equipment that is better than my S rank equipment because it busts the strike arts, and that's what I want to do. I want to get more strike damage off, so I would go for equipment that buffs strike arts. But more time you'd have equipment that are S rank or Z rank, which are actually not always but usually better than the A ranks in that specific category. So I may have a S rank equipment that gives Goku 18% strike arts, more damage, and it will also increase his Z ability if he buffs Saiyans. The fact that I'm adding equipment to him, it helps all the other Saiyans on the team because Goku has more to give out in terms of his Z ability. So all around you're benefiting, but you have to think about what you're going to apply to your characters and how and why you're doing that thing. Like there might be health, blast, defense, attack. You whatever you want to do, however you fight, make sure you apply equipment in terms of that. Now finally, probably the bit where you're all waiting for, where I actually show the teams that I'm using. I'm just going to speed it up. You can pause it if you want to look at the team. I'm not going to show you the equipment because chances are you're not going to have the same equipment as me, but you sort the equipment how you want. But here first is the Saiyan team. I've also got Fusion team, and I've also got a God Key team, and I think the last one's a Regen team. But it's literally just me showing you the Z abilities and how they actually come together to actually make one big boost for my whole team. Literally, if they all buff each other, it's better, but literally they don't have to. And there's also other factors, as in the color that you use for the character. Like some extremes might buff better than some Sparkings, but remember, you're gonna have to have them on your team of 6. So if you're gonna be bringing them into battle, bringing the extreme is gonna be worse than the Sparking. So you kind of have to like weigh it out. Like Charlotte buffs Saiyan health, but he's not exactly the best unit. Fusion 13, he doesn't give any Z ability to any of the fusions, but he's a good unit on his own. So you gotta look at things in that aspect. The only other thing I have to say about that is you've probably been looking at it the whole video. On the bottom left corner, I literally have the type advantage circle, so you can see at the top light takes priority, but it has type advantage over dark, and dark has type advantage over every other color. But then every other color obviously has one type advantage against every other color. So red beats yellow, yellow beats purple, purple beats green, green beats blue, and blue beats red, and it repeats again. But just because you have type advantage doesn't necessarily mean you're stronger, so also think about that. But you can't have a whole team full of reds, because if the person has one blue, you're gonna struggle against that blue, because blue has type advantage against red. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll win or they'll have the one up on you, but they will definitely have an advantage, and their defenses and attacks will do much more to your red units, which is why you have to think about that in terms of your team. So don't just focus on one color, try to have one of each if you can. Maybe sometimes, like you saw on some of my teams, I had 2 greens. I think on one of my teams, I think a Saiyan team, I have legendary finish Vegeta and legendary finish Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So they're both green, but they're strong characters, which is why I have them there. More time I won't bring both out, but it does make a difference because they're both strong characters. So literally just mix it up, but do what's best for you. But I was speaking a bit quick there just to wrap up the video, because I ain't got much to say and I didn't want to make this video too long. But hopefully if you enjoyed the video, press the subscribe button. I'll do videos helping, so comment if you need any help, I'll get to it. But besides from that, that's all I got to say, and I'll see you in the next one.
Come on!